Okay, so I know this is weird because I'm a little bit more of a DC fan when it comes to comics, but I do keep up with Marvel movies quite a bit. And this weekend, I got to see Thor: Love and Thunder. I feel like I've been keeping up with Marvel movies for quite a while, and I feel like most people do. I even bumped into a friend at the theater. Is Thor: Love and Thunder on a roll? And I think I forgot to say welcome back, fellow Rollos. Welcome back, fellow Rollos. I feel well, let's dive into this. Okay, so first things first, I love the cast. There's definitely some great surprises here. You're going to be seeing some celebrity figures that you just weren't really ready for. Christian Bale's acting is flawless. Like every second he's on screen it's great. It's great. And there's also, I mean, I know a lot of people complain about the CGI in these movies, but I feel like the visuals are very beautiful, and it really engaged me in this world that they created. Like seeing some of the Greek stuff, what's currently I don't even know, Asgard. But let's talk about some bad things, okay? So like I feel I was mad at first when I started watching this movie because I felt like it was really making fun of some very dark matters. And I ended up realizing that this movie just can't tell when it's taking itself seriously and when it's not. Like 1 second it's funny, 1 second it's dark, and it's kind of a mess in terms of like whether it wants to be a joke or whether it wants to take itself seriously, and you just never really know which one it's doing. But that being said, I love the humor. The humor is very spot on. It cracked me up at points. There were some points where I just busted out laughing there in the theater. Probably looked like a madman. That being said, when Christian Bale's on screen, it's always dark. Like, you know that when you see his character Gore, that it's just going to be a very serious moment. And that was one of the few parts where like it made sense in terms of being light or dark. I'm going back and forth here, but the soundtrack was also pretty spot on. I like the I'm stuck in the 80s right now. I really am. The 80s soundtrack, GNR was a great choice. It just, there were some parts where it had some 80s references that, as Johnny Lawrence would say, were just well, I'm not allowed to swear, but like Johnny Lawrence would love it. Okay, so let's talk about another thing. As much as I like Foster's role here, it's just they're getting a little too lenient with who can wield Mjolnir. Like at this point, I feel like my pet turtle from 7 years ago could be worthy. Like my Oscar the Grouch could just pick up Mjolnir at any time and say, "I am worthy." It's just not. It doesn't make sense. Like it's the worthy things are supposed to be Thor. Like not everyone and their grandpa. I'd say it would be on a roll, but the roll's kind of shaky and it falls off. Like it's a little shaky roll. Like we're shaking some dice. That's kind of the roll that it's on. It's just shaking. You'll like some parts, you won't others. It doesn't make sense in terms of like what's light and what's dark. It's very messy in terms of that. So I'm gonna go off topic here for a second, but I don't think that Marvel movies will be around in the next 10 years. They're just getting to the point where they're making too much story. Like I can't read comic books because to read a comic book you have to have 30 years of story. It's like having a dream and you just jump into the middle of that and you have no idea what happened before, no idea what happens next. It's just not fun. I don't think people's attention spans are going to be able to keep up with like 50 plus Marvel movies. And also I want to talk about this from a Christian standpoint. This is not a Christian movie, right? So like, it's got homosexuality, it supports universalism, like the idea that all religions are valid. Like it says that Asgardians go to Valhalla. They even look for like someone that's kind of similar to my God. And I understand that if you want to see anything Christian nowadays, you pretty much have to stick to pure flicks because there's, you have to hide behind a rock if you're just watching Christian content. So I understand that I wasn't going this expecting that, but it's kind of sad the way the world's going these days. My dad definitely had some mixed feelings about it because of that, but it was an alright movie overall. I'd give it a watch. I just think it's shaky. Alright, peace, comment, and subscribe.